It is another glorious Tuesday afternoon, and it was another very action-packed weekend for us here at the Protect You crew. And so, folks, we welcome you on into another great episode of the Protect You podcast. Jake Wilson, as always, alongside the man, Jay Mickens. And Jay, I feel like we got to jump straight into it. This is another action-packed episode. We had a great weekend, spent some time with the Rivals camp here in Houston. We got some more offers coming in for Protect You crew members. Dylan Mitchell continues to set the track and field world on fire. And then, of course, we got some interviews coming in as well as we round out the 2026 class. But, Jay, I'm very excited for this one.
Yeah, no, it's going to be a great one, man. I mean, having everything you mentioned, we got some birthdays, as well. But, yeah, I mean, it doesn't get any bigger than, what we got to experience, at the Rivals camp, right? We've had a very, I would say, fun and exciting past 2 weekends, but, just, getting to be a part of all that and, when we get ready to get to this segment here in a few minutes, but getting to actually be on the field, talking to the athletes, talking to the guys over at Rivals, them showing, mad love to us. It's definitely something that, here at Protection United, we're just honored and grateful for, everything that they allowed us to do, this past weekend.
Absolutely. And I feel like we got to dive straight into it because it was a very action-packed weekend. We like to thank the gracious hosts over at Rivals and CE King. Once again, we're right back out there at CE King because they hosted the Rivals Houston camp. And there were a lot of sights and a lot of things going on that had us very excited. And many Protect You crew members were also out there as we got some great highlights and we got some great pictures from the weekend's action as well. And Jay, you got to roll deep. We made some great connections when we were out there talking with a lot of our stellar athletes. Obviously, Joshua Vilmel, one of the headliners, Brandon Abear was out there as well. And then Corbin Schmeckel, it seemed like, was the surprise of the weekend as he went from backup on his own team to a top 4 performer on the weekend.
Yeah, no, exactly, man. And, kind of going back, just, showing that first one there, we got to show love to our guy, Benny Easter Jr. Definitely trying to, close that deal. Hopefully we'll get that one done here sooner or later. And, of course, Mr. Four-Star himself, Joshua Vilmel, right, there. And, seeing Corbin Schmeckel, obviously Brandon Abear. But, yeah, Corbin. And what I like about, Corbin, too, man, is that, of course, we got the crew. Can we freeze on that computer, Jesus? How does this speed work on these pictures? This is rolling. But yeah, kind of wanted to at least show first Joshua, getting that, obviously Benny, there as well. But Corbin Schmeckel is just kind of the one that I think shocked the world. I mean, he definitely went from having a situation to where he had to go on Saturday, right, to try out in the combine just to get there. And then, of course, now look what he's getting to do. I mean, he made it not only on Sunday, but then Jake made it to the top 4?
Yes, he was. He was a top 4 performer for the QB position. And we're talking about maybe 75 plus guys that were out there trying out for that position. Only a handful of them make it to that next Sunday. That following day is where the real action starts, where those one-on-ones really get to take place. And Schmeck was out there with the best of them, above the best of them.
Yeah, he was, brother. And I mean, guys, we're talking guys that have 10 plus offers, right? And Schmeck just rolls up and is like, hey guys, here y'all got a combine going on. Can I come out here and throw the football around? And of course, the money shot there before we come back to the studio. I mean, you got Logan Mahoney, right, in the building, right? I mean, our amazing talent scout here. Then of course, you got us 3.
Yes, sir. It was a great time for all 4 of us really to get out there. I'd like to give a quick shout out to Mackenzie Moore for Rivals that were helping us out to get these media credentials because, Jay, you talked about not only were we rolling deep, we were able to bring 4 people out there, more than we were able to bring out there for Battle 7-on-7, but we were one of the few people that were actually able to get out on the field up close and personal with these stellar athletes. I mean, we're talking, it's us rubbing shoulders with some of the guys when it comes to high school and college media. Sam Spiegelman, huge shout out for the coverage that he was able to get out there, really up close and personal, interviewing guys in between reps because he knew that he just had to get the scoop right then and there. Greg Powers was another one, getting some really good photos, getting some interviews with a lot of the MVPs and a lot of our guys out there as well. It was great to connect with those guys because I feel like that just continues to build on what Protection United has been building and really, I think, just puts a little bit more fuel, maybe some jet fuel onto that fire.
Yeah, seriously. And speaking of Jeffrey, I see you're still fired up from him. I mean, Jake, you still got your credentials on your wrist, man.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Hey, he's like, I'm going to slip. Oh, look at that. Chase got his on the dang it. I should have got mine. I took mine off last night before I showered. But I'm still rock with y'all rivals. So I just want y'all to know that. But no, Jake, I mean, you couldn't have said it best, man. I mean, just, getting to be out there. There was a few others that were on the sideline that would prefer to getting to have the access that we had. Obviously, other representation agencies, recruiting service companies, but yeah, big shout out to Sam, forward and foremost, because he is our main connect here, with Rivals. And for the ones that don't know Sam, you've been living underneath a rock if you are in this football world. But yeah, I mean, and of course, getting to meet Greg Powers face to face. Obviously, we know of each other, follow each other on socials, but getting to officially, meet him as well, which that's huge here in the state of Texas, right? It doesn't get any bigger than Dave Campbell, but it was a great event, great event. We, like you said, Jake, saw a lot of top athletes, but, getting to see, our guys shine, the Joshua Vilmel, the Brandon Stewart, obviously the Corbin Smeckles, right? The future guys, right? That we got to see. And, Chase, kind of want to pass it over to you, now just talk a little bit about like what you saw before we started rolling the videos of like, your excitement. Because once again, you being from a coach, you hear about Rivals, but have you actually got to go to an event, and like, how was this experience for you?
No, first time going, and like you said, it was just range of emotions from the protect you, tree growing, from connections to, to the talent, like the Smeckles to, 5 stars all across the board. Just, I think what blew my mind the most was the level, like everywhere you looked, each drill could have a 5-star in it at any moment. So it was great to be on this side of it, being able to evaluate and see all that talent, all in one spot rather than having to, go around here and do that. But it was great experience overall.
And you talked a little bit there too, Jay, about the videos that we have. And a lot of the footage that we got is, I think, some of the most important stuff, because these are the moments where those one-on-ones, this is where those battles really start to take place. And that's what those coaches are really looking for, is how well can you handle yourself in the position where you have to go one-on-one with a guy across the way that is a 4-star, that is a 5-star.
100%. Yeah. It just, like I said, it's that talent, you don't have to, it's not looking at it. You're getting to go against the best of the best. So you get to, put your skills on to the test, like I said, against 5 stars. So.
Yeah, big time movements for a lot of our guys. And then let's get rolling on some of those videos and some of the footage that we got going here, because these guys, it was very impressive, once again, to be rubbing shoulders and to be up close and personal, to talk to some of the reporters of like, yeah, we represent Joshua Vilmel. We know what he's about. And I think it paid off. It paid dividends to see these guys get out there and get a lot of this action going, because guys like Joshua Vilmel have been reaping the rewards. He picked up his 4th star following this stellar production that he was able to put on.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. I mean, that's what I love about Rivals, is that you could come in as a 3-star and leave as a 4-star, right? Or come as a 4 and leave as a 5. But I mean, you see right here, I mean, the skills and drills, there are a lot of cats that can get out there and do that. I mean, hell, I think we could get out there and look okay doing some of this stuff. But, when you got to strap it up, right? Which, by the way, that's Brandon Aberg doing his thing. But I mean, getting to see Joshua, just be a lockdown DB and, doing what he's doing. Look, I think we all know he's going to end up being a 5-star when it's all said and done. But and then you see our guy Brandon, right? State champ, left tackle for the national perennial powerhouse North Shore. And then there's our guy Corbin, right? I mean, just the QB that impressed all weekend long. On Saturday, they said, come back on Sunday, kid. Let's see what you do against those 4 or 5 stars, Chase, that you just talked about. And what do you think Corbin did, brother, to continue to impress the scouts there on Sunday?
Well, to your point, I think a lot of his tools, obviously we see his arm strength, but obviously like looking off that safety, even though he's not there, things that the technical side of things that Corbin showed was beautiful. That they may not have been able to see on huddle, but they got to see right in person and live in action.
No, I love it. And then, of course, you see the camera, man. The camera could not stay off Benny Easter Jr. Like, it's just, you're next to that guy. Just make sure that your drip is on point and that, your nose isn't running or anything, something's in your beard, because the camera guy's going to get it. I mean, they didn't even work out and they were just looking for him.
Yes, it was very jarring to hear, like, hey, where's Benny at? Where's Benny at? He's not dressed out for anything, but I still want to talk to him. I still want to talk to him. I still want to see him. And so I think it was very important, like you said, Jay, even just to go out there and show it.
Yeah.
Of, hey, there's Jay Mickens over on the sideline shooting the breeze with Benny Easter. Who else is out there on the field doing that isn't trying to get a story, that isn't trying to get a photo with him?
Right, exactly, man. And of course, and you see, even with these other guys out there, you only see the guys with the rival shirts and the other media guys. And so it's very, very one of those intimate camp sessions. But, when you got the top guys, all over, I mean, like that's what it's all about. And, once again, just a huge shout out to Rivals, for showing Protection United love, believing in, what we're doing, like understand. I think the biggest compliment we got was the fact that, man, you guys are one of the few that are actually doing it the right way. You genuinely are trying to care and do what's best for these young athletes. And, they kind of welcomed us and it was awesome. And, just seeing what they do and what they put together. I mean, Rivals has been around forever. Right. And so just to be a part of something that's so prestige as the Rivals is, I don't even know what the words I'm looking for. Right. I mean, I get goosebumps just thinking about it. It was hard to even go to sleep last night because let's just say the following definitely increased and a lot of more athletes showed a lot more attention to wanting to have Protect You potentially represent them.
Yeah, I know Logan's going to have his work cut out.
Yeah.
Spring break. Spring break. That's going to be a lot of work going into spring break.
Good thing he got a Mardi Gras break. Yeah, a little different in Louisiana. So, it's okay. It's okay. He can hang out with Bella, his girlfriend, at night. During the day, get your ass to work, Logan.
Say, because there's going to be a lot of athletes, and we were very fortunate to meet up with a lot of really talented guys, get the contact information for some of them. And like you said, very similar to the 7-on-7 tryouts, Jay, we had guys coming up to us that were like, hey, I'm thinking about someone representing me. I know that this is going to be tough for me moving forwards. I think I might need something like this. And so to be able to see that firsthand, I know you talked about it on a show previously, but now to be the guy that people come up to and they're like, hey, you're Jake, right? You were Protection United. I've been looking for representation. I might need something like this. That's what that's all about. That's what these events really matter for in terms of the networking and making those connections, not only with the media people, but making those connections with the people that might be on the fence about this type of thing.
100%. I mean, I was on the phone with Derek Lagway last night for our new followers, my business partner here at Protect You, but because he's out at Red Bull. He's at Red Bull's headquarters out in California. We got a marketing event going on, and so we had to divide and conquer. And I guess he got to pull the short straw because he gets to go to Cali, right, and get to enjoy life out in the Beverly Hills world. But but I wanted to call him, to kind of give him the update of it. I didn't want him to have to wait till Tuesday for our meeting, but I told him that I had finished just talking with, I think it was Greg Powers, right? It was me, Greg Powers, and Ben Easter Jr. Says his name a lot, Mr. Easter. But then I finished that conversation. I kind of passed it over so Greg can kind of talk, and then now I'm looking for y'all, right? Just kind of see where you guys are, and I see you, Jake, over there hanging out with the Rivals guys and the other sports media guys, and y'all are kind of in your little circle, and I could tell you're connecting, passing out information, contact info. Then I see Logan talking to, one of the athletes that they just finished, I believe, with the bigs, right? Because they went with the bigs first before the linebackers and quarterbacks and running backs. And I see him talking to one of those guys with the parent. And then I see Chase just huddled up by like 10 dads. Yeah. I'm like, man, is he in a networking thing or they're about to jump my dude? Like this, I just say hooty hoo, Chase. But I told Derek it was such a surreal moment because to see all of that, right? Because one could say that's an overkill. You're coming in with your whole crew. I actually felt like we needed like 2 more of our employees there. I mean, I'm like, dude, do we need our social media manager here? Do we need our client relations manager? Because I felt like, to see people waiting in line to come speak to us, and it's not saying it to be braggadocious or cocky or arrogant at all. I'm being sincere, and I even told Derek that. I'm like, bro, it was just one of those deals to where people genuinely know and heard about Protection United. I feel that this whole deal of, oh, they're a brand new agency, so I don't know about them, to now, like, that's gone. I told Derek that. I'm like, now it's almost like we passed that wave, and now people have seen the success that we have done and helped these other athletes, and now to be making these powerful connections. I told him, bro, I was like, man, this has been a blessing, and just honored to be doing it with you two gentlemen, right? That's on this set with me, and the rest of our amazing team here at Protection United. But have like 15 guys like working here. I mean, like, people don't even know what's behind these curtain, and all the people, because they're shy, don't want to come on set. You're right. Chase it. You think your contract. He's like, dang it. No. Yeah, even though you didn't read the fine print. That's on you.
Hey, that's on you. We got people for you
should have hired us. Wait a minute. No. I didn't see this.
Let me amend this a little bit.
But no, seriously, I mean, and that's what was probably my best moment of the Rivals camp, was getting to see all you guys in your element, networking with the right people, and and I think my favorite part, Jake, was you.
Yeah.
And this is what, I'm not gonna give a name because we're gonna protect the young man. But for you to roll up and say, hey, I hear that Clutch Sports, which is LeBron James' agency, reached out to you. But is LeBron here? Because we're here. And I love what you mentioned about, they have so many professional athletes that they represent that they just want to put you essentially in the deep freezer. Whereas, like, you're going to be in here with us in this inferno, and we're on fire right now. And we're going to do everything we can to continue to help you get what you've earned and what you deserve, and promote you along the way. Like, it's just kind of that part of it for me, bro, was like, okay, like, this is hitting different.
Yeah, it was great to get out there and really foster a lot of those connections, and then build off of the momentum, I think, was the biggest part of it, of understanding that we've been able to add so many athletes, and now we've been able to add so many more employees and so many other people to help carry this load forwards. It's really promising to see that we're able to continue to build that momentum in a positive way, get stronger connections with guys that were MVPs for their positions.
Man.
Get connections with guys that had their own private workouts.
Right.
They were late showing up, but then everyone was like, we'll get your own coach and we'll get your own camera guy just for you. That's fine. We can handle that. So it was really great to be able to build off of that momentum, continue to carry this in a very positive direction. And once again, my thanks goes out to the great people that were able to help us out at Rivals, both in terms of getting their credentials and as well as the many great media pundits that were out there to be able to build those connections, stalwarts in their media worlds that were out there. And we're very thankful for those connections that here's hoping they bloom into beautiful blossoming trees here in the near future.
I think it's going to. They pretty much said we can come to any Rivals camp we want. So I think we need to go look at the schedule, gents, and let's go travel.
One in Nashville.
That's right. It is one. I think Corpus Mickles actually got it. They want to see him there. Maybe we go to Nashville. I like Nashville.
Nash Vegas.
Yeah,
Cashville's what you call it.
Yeah. Maybe they got one in Miami. I mean, don't pull my leg on that one, guys. I'll take one for the team there too. I won't make y'all go. I'll FaceTime y'all.
You won't make us go. I'll volunteer.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, man. No, but seriously, I agree with you, Jake, and that is definitely going to be fun to continue this journey and building that relationship with Rivals.
Yes, and I think one guy that everyone was looking for, but he wasn't there because he had his priorities elsewhere, was Dylan Mitchell, the young man who set the U18 world record for the 60-meter dash. Everyone was asking, where's Dylan Mitchell? Where's Dylan? He's on my list. I need to see Dylan Mitchell out here. Well, I'll tell you where he was. He was in College Station over the weekend because he continues to build up and set the track and field world on fire. And Computer Jesus, you are good to roll the footage here, as blink and you might miss it. A 9.88 100-meter dash. He covered 100 meters in less than 10 seconds in College Station.
Shut up.
Far and away the number one guy. You had Greg Powers was writing about this guy. You had Spiegelman was writing about this guy. You had my buddy who works for a radio station in DFW was retweeting this guy saying, my God, we need to talk about this guy. The people need to witness Dylan Mitchell.
Yeah. Well, first of all, shout out to Jake Wilson for sending it to his buddy up in Dallas. I mean, don't just throw that out there. You're doing your job. Jake, you're your PR.
Shout out to Alec Medford if you're watching this. Shout out to Alec Medford and the great people over at 105.3 The Fan in the Dallas area.
Right, bro. Look, 9.88. Like,
Insane. Absolutely.
there's 100. Think about that. So, Chase, college coach, former college coach, and now you're on the good side. But when you ask for guys' track times, right? What numbers were y'all like, okay, he's fast and he's good to go? Tell me, give me a number.
Well, it's sub 11 is fast. So anything under 11 is fast.
So sub 11
is fast.
So when you hear 9.88, like, how crazy are college coaches going if they hear something stupid like that?
It's insane. You know, it's hard. You can't teach speed. So a kid that's running a 9.88, it's unheard of. You know, I'm sure he's going to break this record too. He did it last week. Got the, number, in the world record. Right. So he just keeps building on his stuff. But yeah, it's shocking. In a good way. It's mind blowing. Which that speed is unreal.
Yes, I think any coach, any program would look at that and say we would be, I think, making the wrong move if we didn't try and get him to do 2 sports.
Right. Yeah. But here's the deal that's crazy is that the Rivals guys told me that they saw Dylan yesterday, that he didn't compete, but he came and showed up, shook hands and kissed babies. So my thing is this, Dylan's that fast where he was able to run from College Station back up to CE King, come say, hey, do the whole the PR thing, like what we saw Benny Mr. Jr. do. Mm-hmm. It's like the 10th time I said his name right. Okay. Chase, we
need to load a count.
Yeah, it's not a count. Yeah. So Dad is happy with it. But no, Dylan runs up there, and then he runs back to College Station. That's how fast he is.
Yeah. Before you knew it, he got back in a day.
Yeah, I mean, his mom was like, hey, son, I'll call you an Uber. I don't need mama.
Nah.
I'll just run up 99. What?
No doubt.
No, seriously. Like, it's so impressive what this young man is doing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one thing to be dominant on the football field, but I mean, just to see what we're seeing, Jake. I mean, bro.
I mean, that's Olympian level stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
I think 15th place got like 10-4, which is insane. So we're not in a state where speed's not a thing.
It's
iron sharpens iron.
Yeah. I mean, it's like in football. You're like, man, I scored 50 points tonight, and we still lost by 20. Wait, what? I think we lost some games last year, didn't we, Jay? Tom Memorial might have gave us some.
We put up 50 points, and it's still a 20-point out. Yeah. How does that happen?
Right. I mean, you finished 15th, but you run a 10-1-5. Like, stop it.
Insane.
But I mean,
it goes to show the level of talent that Dylan has. How special of a talent that kid is to be able to go in, day out, travel across the country. He was in New York when he set the U18 world record. And now he's back here in Central Texas running these events again. It blows my mind to see just how gifted this kid really is. Well, and I mean, we talk about too, it seems like we haven't talked about too many offers that Dylan has gotten. I think it's because he's already got them all.
Yeah. Right. Well, and also too, I mean, and this is what I love, if we can end it on this. I love the fact that it was indoor. And here's why. Because people were literally trying to hate on this kid. Oh, he had the wind to his back. Oh, the wind pushed him forward. Man, stop all that.
Yeah.
That's dumb to me. Like, because if it wins in his face, you're not saying that same argument. And that's just those guys, those keyboard warriors that always want to have something to try to make a name for themselves. While we always educate our guys, don't put everything on Twitter. Like, just shut up. Like, show love. But indoor, conditions are perfect.
100%.
I mean, the AC might have been on, but it ain't blowing that hard. You know what I mean? 9.88.
No, I don't care what wind you got to your back or anything.
Right. But I'm glad that Dylan is showing up and showing out, man. And so, Superman, congratulations, brother.
Yeah, big time congrats to him, as he is one of the great pillars that we have going forward in the 2028 class. But let's shift our focus just a little bit to the guys that will be making the jump to the collegiate level starting now, the class of 2026. We've had a great opportunity to sit down and interview a lot of our guys inside of the studio when we did our big 2026 class event. But for those that are out of state,
you missed that, by the way.
You missed a banger.
I'll be here next. The 27.
Yeah, you'll be here for the 27.
Yeah,
I heard about it though.
You'll try and dethrone me from my game show prowess that we had live.
No, hey, real talk. I'm gonna let us play. I'm on Jake's team. Like now, so right here is when I'm the first time in the history of this company throw my boss hat down. I don't give a crap how we select the team. Me and Jake are on the same team because I want to guarantee you.
Well, now I want to be on the team.
Well, I don't know. We'll see how it plays. We'll see how the draft. Jake and I will see. We'll select our team. Right, Jake?
Yeah. But either way, we had a great time there for the 2026 guys. But for some of those that were out of state, for some of the guys that we were unfortunately not able to really get out here, whether it was they were out of state or they had other things going on, like this next guy that we're going to interview here was Rollie Pinto, as not only was he out of state from the great state of Alabama, but he also had basketball going on at the same time where he said, I got basketball season going on. I'm dunking standing straight up. I don't even need a running start. I can jump flat-footed and dunk this thing. I got to show off college coaches that.
Yeah.
So he was able to get out there, show off a lot of the great work as he gets ready to make his jump to Jacksonville State, graduating out of Piedmont, Alabama. Here we go for our interview with none other than Rollie Pinto. So, folks, another exclusive interview here on the Protect You podcast, rounding out the class of 2026. But this time, we got to take it out of state to go and visit our guy, Rollie Pinto. Rollie, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today.
Yes, sir. Appreciate y'all for having me.
Yeah, man, bro, killing it out there, man. So glad to have you on, man. It's fun getting to follow your journey, doing your thing on the football field, bro. And we just, appreciate it, that you not only allowed us to represent you, man, but you took time out of your busy day because surely, right, in your hometown, you are a man that I'm sure a lot of people want to get attention and hang out with and all the things, right? Kind of getting that last run of high school before it's time for college.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. I'm just trying to soak it all in before I go to college. So
I like it, man. Hey, good looking kid, can ball on the field, ball on the court. But talk to us just a little bit, bro. I mean, at the end of the day, we all know the saying, all good things must come to an end. Talk to us about that last ride, bro, that you've gone on. And how was that last journey, man, playing underneath those Friday night lights?
it was the best experience I could ever ask for. I say this all the time in my other interviews, like Piedmont, we got the best tradition, and I think the state of Alabama, just because like all the community that comes to our games and stuff, and just they pack the stands, and just running out of the tunnel on the Field of Champions at Piedmont, it's just like no other. And for me, I'm just so blessed to experience something like that. And I couldn't ask for anything better and a better senior year. So.
And you're a guy, too, that gets it done in a lot of different places out there on the field. I mean, Jay and I went on and on throughout the first early run of the podcast. You were a regular on ball and get the call. Long touchdown receptions, long kickoff and punt returns. What does it feel like to you to be able to so successfully fill in that many roles out there on the field?
I feel like it, defines me as a playmaker. And, I feel like when my number's called just to do anything that my team needs me to do, I'm willing to do it. And when my number's called, I just need to make the play. So I think it's sort of like kind of like a sacrifice for your team, like just whatever they need you to do it. So that's kind of my mindset there.
Okay, I like that. And then, it's funny too, bro. I still laugh about when we first started, working together and hearing your dad talk about that one game where you just like blew up. You had something like 15 catches, and your dad was like, "Whoa, that's just too much." Like, to me, that's still funny to me because like most parents are like, "Give my kid the ball more." But kind of walk us through, just some of your highlights, through your high school career, man, and like how was that journey, right? When you're in a zone and you're like, dude. I think I've caught a ton of balls.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's honestly one of the best feelings in like the game of football when like it's like one of those games where you're fixing to go crazy. And I think my first game I came back from my injury, we played Cherokee County and it's our big rival, and I caught 20 passes in that game, and it was just like, and at the end of the game I didn't know how many passes I caught. And then the interview guy came and he said, "You caught 20 passes." And I was like, dang, that's insane. And I just was like, during the game, after like my first like 5 or 6 catches, I was like, man, this is going to be that kind of night. Because like, especially when you're playing against your rival, your mindset is just kind of, you take it personal because like you don't like those dudes, So that kind of motivated me a little more just to turn it up a notch.
Yeah, bro. And then you transition that, bro, to the now the basketball court, because we know you can do your thing on the field, but bro, seeing the highlights of you coming down two-handed dunk with ease, bro. I mean, dog, you got some bunnies.
Yeah, I love basketball too. Now I've always played that when I was little. Basketball and football were my main sports. I played baseball too, but those two always just kind of stuck with me. But basketball is pretty fun. We unfortunately we got put out the other night,
Yeah.
but the good things come to an end with that too. It was a fun ride playing basketball. I got to experience some great teammates and another great tradition in our basketball program. So
Saying, although those doors do close and it stinks to have those seasons come to an end, it does allow you though to move on now to the next steps here, advancing on, and you'll be a part of the Gamecocks out there at Jacksonville State. What do you feel like was when you were going through that process? Because you were an early commit for them, you were part of that early national signing day. What were some of those deciding factors and the determining things that really separated Jacksonville State from the rest of the pack?
well, when I first realized like I was getting recruited for football, I was always thinking like, JSU is gonna be my first offer. They're just right down the road, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And they never kind of like picked up on me. And I was kind of upset about it because that's the only school I really cared about, to be honest. Because when I was a little kid, that's all the games I went to. We'd go to those games and just hang out and just have a good time. And I always get a picture with the mascot, cocky, and all that good stuff. But I mean, when I first got the offer, it was just kind of like adrenaline was going through my body like nonstop, and I was so excited and just so happy. And I got some more offers, but the JSU offer, it just outweighed all the other offers. It just felt so different, and I was just like, I don't. There's no reason to wait. Like this is where this is. It's just it kind of like just felt like a feeling like this is where I need to go. I mean, this is where my heart is set at, and the coaches played a huge factor in it too. Charles Kelly, he's the best of the best. He's coached the best, and Jacksonville State is going uphill, and they're nonstop just going up. So I just wanted to be a part of that too.
And I love hearing that, bro, and just hearing the love and the passion in your voice about Jackson State. And to your point, bro, it's something to be said about growing up watching the team and being a fan, and now you're getting to actually play for that school. Was everybody, obviously your family, I'm sure, is happy, but like all your friends and everyone that went to high school with you, like talk to us about them celebrating in your excitement and joy of committing there.
Yeah, I hear a lot. I hear it a lot ever since I signed and committed. Like, we're gonna come to your games and stuff because it's right down the road. So everybody in the Piedmont community was so happy for me to just stay home so they can come watch me. And I think that's another reason I picked JSU is because their community and their football passion. It reminds me so much of Piedmont, small town Alabama football. So
Yeah.
it just reminded me so much of that. And my friends, they're gonna come watch me play. I get them some free tickets and all that good stuff. So.
Okay. You think you're gonna be able to get that number one jersey?
I doubt it. I'll probably get something like 80, maybe. But I'm all
Okay.
good with that, though. I'm all good with
Okay.
that.
Hey, no, I'm with that. Hey, look, at the end of the day, we need to make sure we get that jersey out for sale so you can get
Yeah.
your compensation for selling the most jerseys. I got a feeling that your jersey's gonna be one of the high selling
Yeah.
jerseys with you being a local kid, man.
Yeah.
Homegrown. Speaking of local kid, right? Raleigh, we know what you can do on the field. We've seen what you can do on the basketball court, even though that was just for fun. Let you tell it. Although Jake and I saw some high level basketball being played, bro, from your end. But like tell us something about Rollie Pinto that the world may or may not know in regards to like who you are as just a man.
I'll tell you one thing that I really love to do, and I'll be doing it this summer, is fishing. Fishing. Fishing is I mean, it's my peace. It's kind of like my getaway from everything. I went fishing almost every day this summer with my cousins and my brother. And it was just one of those times, man. It's just great to be out there on the water and just fishing with my friends, man. Anyone don't know anything about me, I love fishing. So that's really,
Okay. So are you normally more on the bank or are you in the boat?
I love fishing on the bank.
Okay. All
Fishing on
right.
the, me and my cousin and my little brother, we probably spent the whole day just going around our little area, knocking on people's doors that had lakes and stuff, and just like, oh, can we fish here? Can we fish here? Just So we got some relationships, a bunch of people around our area just fishing and building relationships and stuff. So that's cool.
I like that. So last question here, brother. What kind of fish, right? If you could go anywhere, right, in the world of fish, what fish would you want to catch?
I've been watching some TikToks and stuff, and I've been seeing I want to go fish at Louisiana because
Okay.
they got the biggest bass. Supposedly, that's what everybody says. So
Yeah.
I want to go fish at Louisiana sometime. That'd be great.
All right. Okay. And we need to see if we can get you an outside endorsement deal with a fishing company in Louisiana so you can go catch some bass.
That'd be
in
nice.
The state of Louisiana. We got you, bro. Let's see if we can set that up. We'll get with Madison and see if we can make that happen for you.
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
Say that'd be one heck of a photo shoot. Get out there, you get the
Oh,
waders
yeah.
on.
Uh-huh.
We'll try and make it happen for you, Rollie. We know how much you like that, and thank you so much again for sharing that. And with that, folks, thank you so much for watching this exclusive interview with Rollie. Any last thoughts here for the beautiful audience at home, Rollie?
Well, I just thank you for all the support, and I love my family. That's really it. I wouldn't be here without them. So
Yeah, I love that. Awesome,
Love
man.
it,
Great
man.
young man.
Love it, man. Love it. Well, again, Rollie, thank you so much for taking the time to join us here, and we'll be right back into the studio.
yes, sir. Appreciate y'all.
So, Jay, I don't know about you, but I loved the answers that Rollie was able to give us. Very detailed guy. And I love to, again, it's just, it may be a little stereotypical, but that nice Southern drawl that he's got going for him as well. It just makes you want to be friends with the guy.
Yeah, no, I mean, he's definitely one of the guys that I think we should be able to help him get some outside endorsement deals, right? I mean, good looking young man. And like you mentioned, right? I think that voice, can carry him. Maybe we can even get him a deal to be a voice for like a cartoon.
There you go.
Something like that. But then also too, Jake, it was something else I noticed in this video. Your fro grew out.
That it did.
You what did you do?
That it did. The Mexi fro does grow out.
The Mexi fro?
If you give it a little bit of time, it does grow out, and the curls start to come in here. You can't really see it because it's just that matte black. But
I mean, because you're mixed with white, Mexican.
yes, that's pretty much
That's it. White and Mexican. That's it.
Maybe a little Native American. Okay, but that's
you sprinkled it.
Yeah,
Like a little sprinkle.
Maybe just a little bit.
Are you aware that some of our clients think that you're Asian?
Yeah, that's a little surprising to me, but
No.
a little surprising to me.
I got invited to a big meeting and they were like, bring Jake. I was like, why? Well, the guy we're meeting with is Asian and that they could probably connect and they could like close the deal. I was like, I didn't know Jake was Asian.
No.
I mean, you haven't not one time have you asked me to take you to Benihana's.
No.
I love Benihana's.
I like Asian food.
You guys like hibachi?
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe you are. I'm part Asian, I feel like, by heart. But anyway, great interview all the same. Rollie's a great guy. I mean, I'm so excited for him. I mean, just seeing what he's going to get to do, right, collegiately. And I mean, for a kid that could have played college basketball or college football.
Mm-hmm.
And I get why Jack State's, locked in on him. And, that's the thing about when you're from one of the southern states, Jake. You're from Alabama, Tennessee, Mississippi. You find that local school that's going to lock in, and I got to give them, credit there. Jack State's offered him very early in his career, and they showed him love, and it's right down the street. And Rollie knows he gets to have an opportunity for all his friends and family to get to watch him play, and just hearing the excitement and the joy in his voice, Jake. I could tell that those coaches did a phenomenal job of building a real relationship with him.
Yes, and I like to that we asked him about the wow factors. He's like, I like to fish. I like to fish. I like to hunt. I got my spot. I like to go back to it every now and then. I think that might be relating to something that another Protect You crew member also likes to do as we get further into the episode. But that's just a little bit farther down the road as we like to take time and roll out the red carpet once more to the newest members of the Protect You crew. We're very excited to welcome on in none other than Trace Baker. We've been rolling deep, like we said, in the Fort Bend Travis area, and now
deep, baby.
We continue to just rack them up left, right, and center, and now we got the starting quarterback, and Chase will bring you back onto set as well here to break down what it is exactly we're looking at when we talk about the talent of Trace Baker.
Yeah, very fired up about Trace, just your holistic quarterback here, 6'4", 220 plus, just has the arm strength, has the power. You're going to see it here, reads the pocket, steps up, delivers a dime to David Brewer. One of our very own. We got a good relationship going down at Fort Bend Travis with a few of our guys. Here you're going to see Trace's, looks off that safety and gets, if the defense is going to give it to you, take it. Again, Trace just showing, again, his instincts, his knowledge of football, that corner bites, that in wide open 80-yard bomb.
And does it really entice you as well to know that this guy is a 2027, so he has a little bit of that veterancy status, but there might still be a little bit of a time to refine some of the finer details?
Absolutely. Coming in as a senior leader, you want that in a quarterback, guy that's going to lead your team down the field to get, ultimately get those wins. And again, just
Was that Ethan Williams, by the way, that caught that
yeah,
one?
that's what I'm saying. We got a few different guys on the
So I
court.
think
Big
that was
Travis
Ethan. I
over
think,
there, and
that
there's
was
Brew right there. So
Oh, wow.
he
Bruce
just,
Ethan.
let's just protect you,
So protect you offense. We talk about having Willis's defensive backfield, but we got, I think, most
the
of Ben
skills.
Travis's skill
I like it.
players.
So if Willis played for Ben Travis, like we would be in heaven. Man, we wouldn't even have to be at the game. We just set up cameras and then just leave because we're going to be our guys making the plays, right? Touching the football. So, but I mean, what I liked about Trace, and just kind of watching just a little bit of that was, and I get it, and so let me talk from the fan side because I know most coaches will not like this part, but I love the fact that he was able to throw off of his back foot, and in the arm strength of being able to deliver the football. Other thing that I personally like is just because I hear it all the time from these general managers and these offensive coordinators, quarterback coaches are his size, right? I mean, he definitely meets the eye test, and being able to see over those 6'4", 6'5" linemen, right, is huge. But Tracy's kind of showing like that leadership out there as well too. I mean, to be in an offense to where you got two D1 receivers, and we all know that receivers come with diva. I think you can't spell receiver without spelling diva, right? And being able to keep both of those young men happy throughout the course of the season, and just to being able to show that he can make all the throws as well. I mean, and then Chase is kind of coming back to you from a technical side. Well, how do you think Trace is going to translate? We know he has one more year of high school, right? So we're not trying to rush his senior season, but how does he translate up to the college level?
Love it. Just his mechanics, getting there, like I said, getting that ball out, that quick release, the footwork. And like you said, he has the arm strength to throw off that back foot. So like I said, just what really intrigued us was obviously, 6'4", can't teach height, but the work he puts in off the field, and just like I said, the mechanics and all the tools he has in his belt already that we haven't even started to get in the lab with him. We're just now starting to get in the lab with him. So very exciting, very, 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 optimistic, excited for, what's ahead for Trace.
Yes, and I think what is ahead for Trace and a lot of the other members of the Protect You crew is the same thing that we've been talking about for the past several weeks now, and that is the offer onslaught and the offers that continue to pour in for the great and talented members of the Protect You crew. And we'll jump straight into this rapid fire, banging, just shooting off the hip. Yeah. As first and foremost, we got to talk about King Lag. The young man continues to pick up offers, and he picked up none other than SEC in the form of Kentucky, and the Wildcats throwing their hat in the ring as the 10th Division I offer to come across King Lag's board. Very excited for that.
Exactly. And just like what you always love to say, Jake, in the SEC, it just means more, right? So King Lag, huge offer. Once again, one of the hottest DBs in the nation right now, and he's doing his thing.
Yes, and joining Jamal in that same Willis defensive backfield is, of course, the man that we've talked about week in and week out as well, Jalen Kilo. He picked up 3 big-time offers, starting off with Maryland, coming in from Big Ten country, looking to build a possibly strong defense around this Wildcat product. But then the Stormin' Mormons and BYU and the Cougars also said, hey, Jalen, come on over. We got a beautiful stadium. We got a great, promising program that is on the come up. We might want to try and get an offer out there as well. And then staying out in mountain country, Colorado State also extended an offer Jalen's way, rounding out 3 incredible opportunities and 3 great offers for Jalen Kilo.
Hey, man, they really call the Stormin' Mormons.
We are now.
Are you shooting off the hip?
You need to trademark
that one was off the hip.
I like it.
They're the BYU Cougars, but
in fairness, you did say we were about to shoot off the hip. Didn't know we were shooting from that hip. However, I mean, and also he just got back from Iowa State, right?
He did.
On a visit there. I mean, Kilo was blowing up for sure. I mean, that secondary in Willis. I mean, Willis is known for offensive guys. Now is all of a sudden now here, so I'm proud of him, and can't wait to continue to watch him grow.
And matching Jalen's production with 3 offers as well was none other than Jake Sneed. this incredibly built tight end continues to build up hype and build up the offer sheet, as Army was one of the first schools to come across him in the most recent week. We're very excited to see what that might look like for Jake Sneed, as in addition to Army, he picks up the tropical Hawaii, shooting an offer his way. The Rainbow Warriors thinking, hey, we might want to get a little bit of that 6'6", 240 tight end action that Jake Sneed brings to the table. And then last but certainly not least is Coastal Carolina and the Chanticleers extended an offer his way as well. Love to see the momentum continue to build up for the John Cooper product as he continues to bring eyes not only to himself, but to that great Dragon program.
Yeah, dude, he's awesome. Look, and I will go with you, Jake, on that OV to Hawaii.
Yeah, I'll take the bullet.
Yeah.
We'll go out to Hawaii.
We have to start pulling straws or rock, paper, scissors or something for this stuff.
Chase, if you get Miami, then I get Hawaii.
Okay, fair. I'll do that.
All right, I like it. I'm only bringing one of you.
Yeah.
I can't bring all three.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Only one of you. So
Yes,
I'm
but
with it.
and we talk about how we all have a little bit of our crowd favorites here at Protection United. Jake Sneed is definitely one of those guys, but a guy that we're so excited to finally see building up some really solid momentum on the recruiting path is none other than Alex Fontenot, our guy out of Alexandria, Louisiana, gets some big-time offers, and it starts off with Arkansas State looking to get him moving a little bit north to come and play for their program. He's done an excellent job in terms of promoting himself, showing off a lot of that production that he had last year, despite not even playing full games for Alexandria because that team was just that good that they could have sat him. So we're very excited for the Arkansas State offer, as well as Northwestern State looking to try and keep the Louisiana talent inside of the boot state. We're very excited for you, Alex. Congratulations on 2 great offers.
Yeah, and Coach Lett, my guy, wide receiver coach at Arkansas State, I've been in, continuous contact with him, getting to like talk about Alex. And, I'm glad that they, really did their full eval on him and recognized that, he could definitely come be a Red Wolf. So happy for him.
Yes, and we move now over to Mr. ROI, the man himself. Ethan Williams continues to rack up some really rock-solid offers since joining the Protect You crew. And it starts off with one that came in just Sunday night. Wyoming said, you know what, Ethan Williams,
What they say, Jay?
get yourself an offer.
Get yourself an offer.
Get yourself an offer.
Come be a Cowboy.
We produced some great talent. Josh Allen, obviously, I think the flag bearer for what Wyoming is capable of. Maybe you can bring a little bit of that same spunk as well, as that is his 6th D1 offer. But we move the time back just a little bit to his 5th D1 offer as none other than Air Force.
Right.
And that electrifying offense also sent an offer Ethan's way.
Hey. Robbie.
Hey, there it is.
I mean, what else is there to say?
Hey, I saw your hashtag on Twitter too. I love it. Yeah, no. I think just seeing the growth from Ethan, from our side, and it goes back to the Protect You Trinity. Main thing's the main thing, the athlete, and then what we do, and then that family, mom and dad, they're really, really supportive of Ethan and us, and I'm hoping they're liking the investment so far.
And speaking of very supportive families and families that always have their finger on the pulse, we move over to the Byer family as Kingston picked up Georgia State as another one of his great offers. He just continues to build up some really rock solid momentum. We're very excited to see that not only the social media push that his family and us sort of going hand in hand in that venture together, but that a lot of the work in terms of spreading his name out there on the podcast front has worked to get Kingston, I think, the due diligence and the respect that he deserves. And I think one other guy that is also reaping very similar rewards to Kingston is Jordan White, the young man that his parents have called us, thanking us for the amount of hype and the amount of offers that we've been able to bring his way, as he picked up 3 more offers in just the most recent week. As we start, first and foremost, keeping it in the Houston area, Rice said, you know what, Jordan White, get yourself an offer. We are known for our academic prestige, and let's see if you can help cross that over to what we might offer on the field. So congratulations to Jordan picking up the Rice offer, as well as picking up Army. The Army Academy continues to build up some really rock solid hype, might potentially snag a couple of Protect You crew members if things go the right way. And then last but certainly not least, Columbia, the first offer that we had come across here, his 4th D1 offer. He's now up to 6, but Columbia said we're going to get in this race early, see if we can possibly get our guy Jordan White to commit. So congratulations, Jordan, on picking up, once again, 3 rock solid offers.
Yeah, man. And just to kind of piggyback on what Chase just mentioned, I mean, and we just rolled through just 2 other same scenarios, right? With the Bauer family as well as the White family. I mean, you're looking at the Protect You Trinity, like all, we had to have some poster childs.
Yeah.
Like you're looking at 3 of the probably good number of our families because of that reason. And so happy for these young men. Jordan White came to us, I believe, only had 1 offer, right? Kingston, I don't know if he had any, maybe 1 or 2. And so to get to see this happening for these young men, and I like what you said, Chase, right? The main is going to always be the main thing. We never want to take credit for the talent of the athlete because the talent's not there. I mean, Michael Jordan said it best. Like if he averaged 2 points, 3 rebounds, and 1 assist a game, he ain't getting all this stuff. Right. You know what I mean? So like we gotta always give credit there. But yes, for what we do here, Protection United, to kind of bring it all together, to go along with the supportiveness of good parents, right? I mean, it makes it fun, makes it easier for us to do our jobs. And most importantly, we get to sound organic, right? When you're talking to the SIDs, Jake, and when Chase and I, you're talking to the coaches, I'm talking to the general managers, because we can truly say, like, no, we're being straight up.
For sure.
Like, this is a great young man. So
100%.
happy for him.
Yes, and I think we like to highlight that segment because everyone's recruiting journey is different. Everybody's steps to the collegiate level will feel a little bit different when we talk about them here. And I think that carries us over very nicely into this next interview that we got coming up with Ryan Randolph, as this young man was class of 2026 guy, came to us very late and to the point where he had already committed to Graceland whenever he came to us. We already knew where that journey was going to take him, or at least we thought we knew where that journey was going to take him, as we found out before this interview and during this interview that he had decommitted from Graceland and is opening back up his recruiting profile, throwing himself back out there into the mix in a very healthy way. And so we transition over now to our interview with the big man, Ryan Randolph. All right, so folks, welcome on in as we have none other than the big man, Ryan Randolph, joining us here for another exclusive interview on the Protection United podcast. Ryan, welcome on in, man. We appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you. I'm glad to have
bro. Yeah, man. So glad that you're here, man. Like I had to wear a red shirt, Brian. Man, it's hey, we're gonna call it Bloody Monday, right?
Yeah.
So we gotta jump right out to it. Bro, you decommitted from Graceland. Talk to us about it, man. Everybody wants to know, like, what led to that decision?
Ultimately, the decision, I talked to my recruiting coach, and the stuff that me and the coach had a great relationship. That's not the problem. It was some stuff that transpired, that happened, and it led me to decommit. Also, I had, family issues going on at the time, and my uncle had passed, so that led to it too. So that really transpired, and my recruiting coach told me, hey, we're not gonna have that, because it wasn't the coach; it was more of the stuff that was going on at the school.
Yeah.
So that's what happened. So that's what more led up to.
Okay,
I
well,
gotcha.
no, man. Definitely sorry to hear about your uncle, bro. And you'll definitely, be in our prayers, man. I know situations like that could definitely be tough. So, but you talked about good relationship with the coach. Things are going on at the school, and that's what here at Protection United we like to help advise our guys on, is that you don't want to put yourself in a bad situation. So
Yeah.
definitely tip my hat to you, brother, and very commend you on the fact that you recognize this is not really what's going to be best for me and what I stand for.
Mhm.
Yeah, and you talk about too, this opens up so many other opportunities now. Those schools that were hungry for you back then are probably salivating right now, thinking we
Yeah.
have another chance at it. We have another chance to try and get our guys. So, what do you feel like will be ultimately the major benefit or the major hope that comes out of reopening your commitment?
I hope I can run into a school and a coach, that, helps me look after me, be not only the person that'll help me, but will lead me too, because that's what a lot of the kids now need. Because a lot of it is from, like, they'll get a kid and they don't really help the kid. So I want somebody who's able to help me walk me through the process, so I know everything, so I don't have no problem. So I really want a good relationship with the coach. So I know everything. So I know how everything plays out. I know everything how everything is going. So yeah. Um where I want to get somewhere I can fit in too. So
Okay. No, that
family
makes sense.
orientated.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so, have you had, anybody in your DMs, hitting you up, or
Yeah.
have you had any schools, start to contact
Yeah. I had coach from East Kentucky. St. Bernardino in California, they hit
you?
me up. Coach Griff, he hit me up. He make sure he check in with me, see how I'm doing. And I like the school. So that might be it. That might not. Just gotta wait and see.
I like that. Oh, I like that. You're gonna keep us in suspense. Hey, I
Yeah.
think that you should do that. That's good. Maybe we come back on here and you can make your announcement.
Yeah.
Where your new home is gonna be. Uh, Going through this process though now, right, Ron? You're having to hit the reset button essentially in regards to opening up your recruitment. Do you feel like now you got to have to take that speed dating approach of trying to hurry up and learn about the program? Kind of start building a relationship with the coaches because I mean you got to be on campus in about 3 months.
Yes and no. I say no is because I know myself. If you teach it to me, I learn it fast. But yes, because it's like building a new relationship with the different coaching staff and getting to know everybody. So that'll be my only problem. Other than that, you teach it to me and you tell it to me, I know it. I catch on very quick, step over finger. So that pretty much wouldn't be a problem for me. So
Okay.
Nice, nice. And you talked a little bit with me before we started rolling here on the recording. You talked about how this time too has allowed you to focus in a lot on your strength training, focus a lot on getting your technical prowess back up to par with what those colleges are going to be expecting of you. What do you feel like has been one of the major steps you've taken during this off-season period to really shape and redefine what it is that made you special in the first place?
slowing down and observing things so I can get the full picture. Cause some people they'll just be so quick into it. So I've been trying to slow down and stuff, get right. So slowing down of mostly observing what I can, so it can be a better opportunity for me. So when I do take the leap, I don't have to worry.
Hmm.
So
I
Hey,
like that. I'm loving
that
these
gets
answers so far.
Yeah, that's good. Hey, and I like how they come with those nice little one-liners too, Jake, at the end of it. There you go, Ron. Look at you, bro. But hey, what are you trying to take me and Jake's jobs?
nah, man.
Hey man, you stay on the field, bro. You let me and Jake handle this mic
Yeah, I'm gonna let y'all
podcast.
have it. I'm gonna let y'all have
Hey, but thank you, sir. At least for a little bit longer, man. Well,
it.
as you continue, man, to go through this process, like do you feel any kind of levels of stress or is it more excitement, that your recruitment is wide open and that the wooing and people of wanting, Ryan Randolph is kind of, picked back up again?
I mean, it's exciting to see more coaches follow me and they hit me up and they be like, man, I'm very interested. I seen your film. I love it, man. We'd like to have you on campus. I have a lot of coaches actually hit me up. I was in school today. They was hitting me up. Man, I like for you to come on the campus, see how it is. Man, I think you'll fit in our defensive scheme, our offensive scheme. I was like, yeah, coach, that'll be good. So everything is. If anything, I'm more pumped, like
Yeah,
to see more coaches now because I wasn't getting that at first. See what I'm
yeah.
saying? So it's more exciting now to see. So yeah.
I like it. I like that because, we talked about that. The doors have started to reopen for you. Those old relationships that might not have been there have really started to come to fruition as well. And so, what does the family aspect of this all feel like to you as well? Of understanding that family was incredibly important to you throughout that recruiting process initially, and it's what led to where we are now. What does the family environment feel like to you now that the commitment has reopened and the journey might look very different than what it once did?
I did let everyone know that I had reopened my commitment, and my mom, she was like, "Okay, I'm glad you did that because when you first did it, I was kind of, I was, how can I put this? I rushed into things, and so she didn't like me do that, so she told me to slow down, and she was glad that I reopened my recruitment because she felt like I was doing it too fast. So yeah, she was telling me be humble, patient, obedient. And so that's what I'm doing right now. And I'm taking it slow so I can, make the best decision for me and her so she can be able to come to the games,
Yeah.
everything. So
Yeah, no, and that's brings up a good point because California could be intriguing, good bit ways away, and I know that that plays a role, and it's not a tough decision for you to have to make because it's like what's best for you or what's best for the family. Can we find a school to where it makes sense for both sides, right? It's a whole lot that goes into it, and it's so funny because outsiders looking in just think that you big time athletes, y'all got it easy, you got it
yeah.
made, and that, but it's a lot, right? That goes into this, right? And unfortunately, we've been seeing like some of the negative sides of like the mental health, right? That's been affecting some of these athletes, but even to this level, right? Mentally, you got to figure out what's best for you, and then the stresses that come along with it, because the one thing you don't want is to go on a campus and realize this ain't for me. Like, which
Yeah.
is why I'm proud of you that you recognize that with Grayson. But talk to us about now as you're starting to kind of narrow it down to these handful of schools. How are you mentally going through that process of attacking every decision that you got to make within that one big choice?
Um, Mentally, it's not taking a toll on me, but I can say it made me see the bigger picture of what I was looking at and what I was getting. So now that I see, I know I have the chance of slowing down, observing things, seeing it for myself. And so at first I was so adamant about, oh yeah, I like this school. I seen the campus, everything about it. But now that I see it, okay, it slowed me down and made me realize, okay, maybe this wasn't for me. Maybe if I would have got there, I probably wouldn't have liked it, and I would have been so ready to come home. But I had to realize that for myself. Okay, so.
I like it, man. I like it. And one last question before we end it off here is we always talk about being the separating factor, the things that really would set you apart from the rest of the mix that gets in here trying to make the jump from high school to college. And so, one last question here, and a good one for the audience is what is something that the people might not know about Ryan Randolph? What is something that you like to do in your spare time when you're away from sports and when you're away from the field?
When I'm out, well, the first thing is I love fishing. I go fishing. That just eases my mind already. So that alone, I mean, I can go hunting a little bit.
Okay.
Um, the third one, I play drums at a church, which a lot of people
Okay.
don't know that. So also a musician. A lot of people don't know that as well. So a lot of people be like, how go from being a musician to being an athlete? I said it's easy. I said during the week, I'm a dog. Sunday come, I'm in church. I'm praising the Lord. So
Hey, Ron, please do us a favor. Get somebody to record you on those drum sets. Let's put that on X. Let's put that
okay,
out there. Let's show the world the big fella can get down on those sticks.
okay, I got you. I'll make sure to send you one.
All right.
So
Awesome.
All
Oh,
right.
man.
Well, a dog on the field and jamming during the weekends at church. We
yeah.
love to hear it. We love to hear that, Ryan. Well, thank you so much, man, for taking the time to join us. This was a very enlightening interview, and I think one that the fans are going to love when they see this one.
Yeah, I'm glad y'all had me on here. I'm glad. I thank y'all.
Yeah, thank you, brother.
All right. And with that, folks, we wrap up this interview and we head right back to the studio.
wow, that was breaking news.
Yeah.
I mean, you come into the interview thinking, hey, we're going to talk about your journey, why you committed to the school out of all your other offers. And he's like, decommitted, wide open, let's go.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Jake, I will say, and this is where the learning lesson kind of does come into play with the social media. Remember when you and I were like, bro, we didn't see your post. Like, you didn't tag us. And Chase, he just did a post. Like, no picture, no graphic, no thing.
Just words.
Brother, words with a white background.
Yeah.
Nobody even saw it, and so however, we cleaned it up. Jake and the PR team worked your magic, Jake, and kind of talk to us just a little bit, Jake, like where are we now in like trying to help promote and get the word out that his recruitment is wide open?
I think it starts very much here. It starts with this type of an announcement and making sure that it reaches as many people as possible, because when we're talking about guys that fly under the radar, when you're not using graphics, you're not tagging people. Like he didn't tag us. There weren't any other people tagged in that post. That's the crucial part of why those tags exist, is so that way you can show up and ping yourself on as many different radars as possible. And so that's where I think the really first step with this reopening the recruiting process starts, is getting the news out there that it's happened. Cat's out of the bag. And then now from that point, that's where we can sort of steer the ship, as it were, of what schools would be interested in a late prospect at this point, what schools might be looking to fill a gap that's still open from the transfer portal. That's where I think the narrative can really start to go from here on out, is now that we know what's happened.
Yeah.
Let's see where we can try and steer the ship here by utilizing a lot of the connections that we have, utilizing a lot of those outside media personnel that might be still interested in talking about how unique of a journey this is, because he talked about it as well, of it was family involved in this.
Right.
This wasn't a spur of the moment, they ticked me off, I'm done, I'm decommitted.
Right.
There was a lot more of a process, and there was some thought that was put into this that led to where we are now.
I got you. And then Chase, like from him being a 26 and kind of decommitting, such late in the game, I know there's limits to this, but like, is there still a chance for Ryan to potentially get on somewhere, even if it's a JUCO or even a prep school route?
100%. To your point, this spring, I think we use it as leverage to an extent. There's going to be teams, there's not a second portal like we had last year. So there's going to be teams where they miss on a guy in the portal where somebody got hurt. I think that's how we use our leverage on our recruiting side is, you need them, we got them. So, and so me and my team will find the right schools, find the right fit, obviously for Ryan and his family, but just using those connections that you talk about and just finding who needs it, reaching out and figuring out the need and then supplying that need.
Yeah, I think it was a very unique interview. It was one of the ones where I think, too, I like that we were able to see a little bit more of the brighter side of him as well, talking about how, again, that deep south, he loves to fish as well. Him and Rollie both are like, hey, I'm a fisher.
Yeah.
I like my tranquility. I like to have my spot and just be by myself. So I like that. I like that we were able to see that, as well as learning a little bit more about the interesting journey that Ryan has been taking throughout these past couple of months and into the very near future. But before we sign off here on the Protect You podcast, one last thing that we'd like to do is we'd like to shout out the birthdays that are coming down the chute, and even some of the birthdays that we had in between last episode and this one. Just missing the cut ever so barely with March 4th. Jay, I'll let you take the reins on introducing who this birthday is.
Our amazing COO, Ashley Cherry, also my fiance. She's so pretty, guys. Just love her. Anyway, big old birthday. I know y'all are like, I can't answer that question. It's okay. It's okay. When you are dating a very pretty woman, it comes with it. People are gonna be like, wow, she's gorgeous. I know, Chase, she's Miss Ashley to you. We're gonna help find you a Miss Ashley, Chase. But no, happy birthday to her. Big shout out to her. I mean, Jake, the things that you've been around Jake for a while. I mean, the things that she's done here, just from that COO seat. I mean, bro. I mean, the organization and the things that she's done, brother. I mean. And I love the fact that you've got to witness and say to me behind the scenes of, dude, I'm so glad that she's around and doing all this.
Yeah, we're very thankful for a lot of the work that Ashley's been able to do in terms of, I think, providing a really solid backbone for the operations that go on here. So obviously, happy birthday extends out to Ashley. And now we shift gears over to the athletes that'll be celebrating birthdays today. We have a wide batch from starting here.
Today?
Yes. March 10th was, I think, the day where a lot of the Protect You crew members said, yep, This is the time. This is when it's
Oh,
happening.
it happened.
Tuesday too. It'll be live on the podcast.
Yeah, this is the time. So we'll start off with, once again, that Louisiana connection in the form of Ryan Reeder, the young man and the stellar kicker for Union Parish. We're very excited to see him getting out there and celebrating his birthday. We carry it back over now to the great state of Texas as Gabriel Vasquez Starling. He gets to celebrate his birthday. I know mom and pops are very excited to maybe roll out a little bit of the red carpet and show a little bit of love in his direction as well. And then last but certainly not least is our guy, the lone basketball player as of right now for the Protect You crew in Jackson Day, will also be celebrating his birthday, in addition to some other things that we might get into later on in the Protect You podcast schedule.
Yeah, man. Hey, happy birthday to all our guys. Ryan, Gabe, Jackson. I mean, this is it, man. They're all 18 years old now. They're officially grown, and life is about to change.
Real quick.
Yeah, it's about to change. But no, man, happy for our guys. Love that we get to celebrate, your birthdays with you. And I hope that you guys appreciate just a little shout out, right? Just have a small gift.
Absolutely. It's the small things that really make the biggest impacts.
I agree. Well, Chase, we appreciate you joining the whole entire episode.
Come on now.
I mean, yeah,
you were in for the long haul.
Yeah, I know. I think, Jake, if we would have made him come on right out the gate for like minute 1 to minute 60, he would have been like, hold up, what? I like how you and I just baby stepped this thing just a little bit more.
Yeah, easing me in.
Easing me in. And next thing you know, he's like, wait, hold up. I'm on the whole episode.
Yeah.
He didn't even find out until we got ready to go. Live.
It started with, we'll bring you on every quarter.
Yeah.
Once a quarter. Nah, but
I was like,
starting to get my feet under me a little bit, but I'll always room to improve. So
Hey, we appreciate you though, still taking the time to come on and give a little bit of your expertise for why it is that a guy like you is so valuable, not only to the Protect You staff, but to these players and to these families that are looking to get their guys recruited. Absolutely. But thank you all as well, just as much, for tuning into another great episode of the Protect You podcast. If you liked what you saw, be sure to head on over to the Protection United YouTube channel, click the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell so you get notified every single time that we go live. But that's going to do it for this episode of the Protect You podcast. Jake Wilson, as always, alongside Jay Mickens, Chase King for joining us in another great episode, and our excellent producer, Justin Woods. We hope to catch you all on the next one.